Physical Goku Black is getting a Super EZA, and this immediately piqued my interest because I do believe one of the more enjoyable teams in the game is one that includes all of these Zamasu characters, Goku Black characters, and merged Zamasu. So basically, like a mix of Future Saga, Realm of Gods, and Worldwide Chaos. So as soon as I heard this EZA be announced, or kind of, teased or leaked, not really leaked, but I guess teased, I had to make a video going over what I really want to see this character receive for their Super EZA. Feel free to critique my Super EZA idea here. I'd love to hear your feedback based on it, but what I really wanted to do was just go ahead and take a look at what this character already did and build directly upon that, making sure that they were good defensively, good offensively, and do support this team, which would be, again, the Worldwide Chaos, Future Saga, Realm of God category teams. I will say that if you enjoyed this video, find it informative, or, enjoyed it in any way, shape, or form, feel free to like the video and subscribe. And if not, let me know how I can improve. I appreciate you. Let's move into the video. So right now, Physical Goku Black has this. He gives Extreme Class, all allies, all Extreme Class allies, Ki +3. Attack and defense plus 15% per key sphere obtained. Ki +1 with each attack received up to 5. Randomly changes key spheres of a certain type to rainbow. And then plus basically extra stats per key sphere obtained when facing a Goku's family category enemy. So this character is a support. I wouldn't really call them a crazy nuke, but they do have nuking potential in their kit because they're essentially getting 30% to attack and defense when collecting orbs, 15% normally, and an extra 50% when facing a Goku's family, getting buffed when facing a specific category, getting extra buffs when getting hit. So we basically took this, or I basically took this and, upgraded it to where I want to see it be today. And this is the idea behind it. I'll be explaining everything that I gave this character. So here we go. Again, I don't want to hear anything about how long these passes are. All these Super EZA kits have been extremely long, so I'm just doing what Dokkan does. All right. Extreme Class Allies 3 key and 30% to stats. Plus an additional Ki +1 and attack and defense plus 20% for Extreme Class Allies, and changes key spheres of a random type to physical key spheres for 4 turns from the start of battle. So for 4 turns, he's giving all Extreme Class Allies 4 key and 50% to attack and defense, which does include himself, and he now is a physical orb changer. The reason why I did that is because look at this. He is basically getting buffed every time he collects an orb. So we want to give him the ability for at least the first 4 turns to look really good, both offensively and defensively. Keep in mind that he also is getting buffed with each time that he gets hit. So if we can add some defense to this, those 4 turns of him, orb changing and getting high attack and defensive stats, it's going to allow him to look good, defend well, get hit, build up this part of his passive, and he'll be fine for basically the rest of the fight, right? Kind of the idea I had going into this. All right, attack and defense plus 150%, which essentially for the first 4 turns, it's literally 200% to attack and defense and 4 key, right? Anyways, attack plus 50% when performing a super attack, just some extra attack buffs there. Attack and defense plus 15%, so again, before it was still 15, and reduces damage received by 3% per key sphere obtained. So if you're changing rainbow orbs as well as, and here this physical or rainbow orb changing is excluding physical orbs. Here it didn't do that, but here I don't want this character changing orbs into physical and then having these orbs change those physical orbs into rainbow orbs. So I'd rather have it to where this rainbow orb changing here is excluding physical orbs. So if you include that for the first 4 turns, it's very easy to say that you're going to be getting on average about anywhere from 5 to 10 orbs per time you collect orbs of Physical Goku Black, right? So that is on average about 15 to 30% damage reduction that you're going to be receiving. And again, it's not the craziest amount, but with all the support there and the defense here and getting 15% to defense per orb obtained, because you are changing orbs, I wanted to give him a little bit of defensive utility with damage reduction, but nothing too insane, right? performs an additional super attack with 4 or more key spheres obtained, guards all attacks for 3 turns with 7 or more key spheres obtained. The reason why I did 3 turns here is twofold. One, I want it to last, since it's 7 orbs, I want it to last quite a bit long, right? Because 7 orbs may be easy to get for the first 4 turns, but after this orb changing goes away, and the extra support does go away, it's going to be a little hard to hit 7 orbs consistently every single time, and I acknowledge that. So the time that you do hit it, I want it to last for a little bit longer than just 1 turn, making this Goku Black more defensively consistent than having to reach it every single time this guy appears on rotation. So again, 4 times or 4 orbs he collects, and it's any key spheres, not physical, just any key spheres. He'll perform additional super attack, and with 7 key spheres collected, he'll be guarding all attacks for 3 turns. Key +1 up to 5, and defense +20% up to 100% with each attack received. So this really does, again, go hand in hand with the 4 turns of orb changing. When you're basically orb changing for 4 turns, you're going to be looking very good offensively and defensively, especially with the damage reduction. So defensively, you're not really going to be a liability for the first few turns, which is going to allow you to build this up as much as possible. So that way, when you stop orb changing, you're not going to get as high damage reduction. Your defense, per orb is not going to get as high, which means that this extra defense is going to come in and not substitute it, but help you, when all that stuff does wear away. Randomly changes key spheres of a certain type, physical excluded, to rainbow key spheres, plus an additional attack and defense +15%, and reduces damage received by an additional 3% per key sphere obtained, and performs a critical hit when there's a super class enemy. Now, I did change this super class, but then I did also add damage reduction here. I think this should low-key still be Goku's family, because there's a lot of super class enemies in the game, and I do feel like if you are getting 3% damage reduction... Okay, so again, I'm changing... Right now, just imagine this at Goku's family here, because if this was just all superclass, you're getting basically 6% damage reduction per orb obtained, which honestly isn't really that bad if we think about it, because I feel like on an average rotation, a character gets anywhere from like 3 to like 5 orbs, right? So that is anywhere between 18 to 30% damage reduction. You know what? Let's leave it there. I think performing a critical hit is definitely strong as well, especially because we have the additional super attack, right, with 4 more key spheres obtained. So this Goku Black, with enough orbs, has the potential to be very strong offensively and defensively, getting stats on super, performing critical hits, being able to perform additional super attack, the guarding, the orb changing, which also does benefit the team, as well as the support that he does give to himself as well. I think this is a very strong super EZA. Would it break the game? Absolutely not. Is this extremely strong? I would say so. I mean, again, most of the enemies, or a good amount of red zone enemies, are extreme class anyways. But for those that are super class, this guy just performing crits like that is going to be extremely powerful. But then again, we have characters who guarantee crit, like Super Vegeta, right? So if Super Vegeta can guarantee crit, why not give an ability that's restricted but similar to this physical Goku Black who's getting a super EZA? So honestly, I'll leave it just as is. Let me know what you think. Hopefully you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one. Merry Christmas and good night.